All right. So, YouTube people. All right. I already did. So for those that like the longer videos, this actually may be a shorter video. I know you guys are probably like, well, you always rant and go on way too long. This one may be less because I did the watch list ahead of time. But then when I do the watch list ahead of time, then I ramble about something else. So I can't win, right? So maybe this time I'll focus just on stocks at the beginning. Here's what I'll do. I'll focus on the stocks right at the beginning. Then I'll end the YouTube recording to stop the BS. So those that want just content, they'll get it today. But don't expect this for every video because then it's too much concentration. I don't want to do that. All right, so let's take a look at, as you guys can see, all of our alerts triggered today. Some were better than others. And I think I cursed the market today because right at the end of the day, I had to do some, let me show you guys, some triggering. And I went to our Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, guys. We post a lot of good stuff over on there throughout the day. So just type in Bullish Bears, you'll find us over here. And at the end of the day, I had to do some triggering. Oh, look, there I am. And let me actually remove this one right here because that was the first one. Actually, which one? Shoot, which was the first one? I think it was this one right here. Let me delete this one. Delete the heck. Forget it. This. So I did my little Air Jordan meme, and I was like, it's time for the GOAT, a.k.a. QE time. Pump her up. And that was about an hour ago, or a little over an hour ago, because I was like, pump up the markets, bring in the QE. And then literally right after I posted that, right, because I was waiting for the QE to come kicking in, and then right after I posted that, they dumped it back down. And that was right at the end of the day. So pretty much as I was posting, what time is that? Around 3. I can't do military time. What time is that? 3:05. Yeah, so pretty much as I posted that Air Jordan meme right up in here, then they dumped it. So they probably didn't appreciate whoever was listening or watching. Maybe they were like, I don't like that meme, so let's dump it on Lucian. And so literally after I posted that meme, they just dumped it. All right, Jeremiah, what's up, man? So I cursed the market at the end of the day today. But anyways, if you guys look at it, it's still hanging, right? It's still hanging. It's above the 9 EMA. But you might have a head and shoulders here now. So now it's tricking out, right? So you can see kind of a possible left shoulder or trick out on the right shoulder. A head up in here. But I have to watch and see. Let's go to the hourly chart. And so, yeah, the hourly dumped at the end of the day. But you still have... Oh, what the hell? Kind of in an up channel. Let's just do... kind of like this right here. So... we'll have to see if support holds. It's teetering right there on the 200. So we'll have to see, guys. This is just crazy, crazy volatility all over the place. But anyways, I apologize if my tweet pissed some people off and they dumped the market on them. So I cursed it at the end of the day with my Jordan meme. But QE, guys, right? QE, quantitative easing. I'm not going to go into that right now. I've done enough of those memes, but we'll see if or when they keep propping this up. And if you like the stock market to go up, if you want money in your 401k, QE is a temporary band-aid to get it back up. So we'll see if they prop it back up. In the meantime, it wasn't. So as you guys can see, the market dumped at the end of the day. When it dumps like this, then it kind of messes with the plays. So I don't even have a swing trade watch list for tomorrow because there really wasn't anything that I personally liked. And even the day trade watches for tomorrow, I'm like kind of eh. But let's look at some of the ones from today that went off. You'll see they all triggered. Again, some are better than others. We can take a look at ETRN. That was, we had that one. Let's just kind of, oh, this is what I want to show you guys too, guys, as well. We did this for you over here. Make sure you bookmark our day trade and watch list and our swing trade watch list each night and check them. What I did for you guys on the day trade one, especially down here, is we're moving the day trade watch list below. I'm wondering if I'm going to do, I may do it for the swing trade watch list too, because I already can foreshadow you or foresee you guys asking me that. But I was looking specifically for the day trade watches, because many a times you'll see the day trade watch list doesn't, you know, like if we put 5 on the watch list for tomorrow, 1 or 2 may be decent, and then you'll, you know, a lot of people won't pay attention, and 2 or 3 days later, then something will fire off. So that's where we're putting the previous day's watch list over here. So come and check them. So like, perfect example, if tomorrow, these ones right here, so a few things you guys want to pay attention to. You'll find, let's say I have 6 on the watch list tomorrow. In the pre-market tomorrow, 1 or 2 of them might have okay volume, right? Not much. One might have decent volume, 100,000 or more. Something else might have 10 or 20,000. Then the rest really don't have much volume. They're like, that's terrible. They don't do really well. Well, they take time, right? So in the morning, you might find 1 fires off, and then 1 or 2 will fire off in the afternoon. They take time to build up volume. So they're kind of, I put them as day trade, but many of them you could actually potentially swing trade as well. You'll see I kind of put higher float ones on there for you as well, because I'm trying to avoid stocks that pump and dump on you. That's where, again, if you like the pump and dumpers and the low floaters, we do post trade ideas gappers every day right up over under tools trade ideas. So if you like the low floaters, here you go. Come check them out right over in here. We don't really like to put them on at night. We try to avoid, I'm trying to avoid the ones that will dump on you as much, because a lot of times I'll put them on and then they pump up pre-market and then they just dump right away. So I'm trying to get ones on here that, again, most of you guys work a job. These are things that you can kind of put on a list, keep up to the side, let them slowly build volume throughout the day, build the patterns, and then potentially get in on an entry, and then you could either scalp them or kind of ride them up, right? So my whole point being is, if something doesn't fire off tomorrow from tonight's watch list into tomorrow, you could always come right down over to previous watch lists and see, right? See what's actually moving, because let's just take, for instance, let's just go to 428. Let's just pull up a few from there. 428 was about a week ago. So you can just pull them up real quick, see if any of them are still in play, right? APDN, that one out fired off, right? So that was back over 428. Look at that. Pumped. I don't like the pattern now, but it did what we thought it would do, right? It broke out, right? So that was a really, dang, APDN. Jeez, Lucian. Good job on that one. Where did I put that out? Probably right over in here. So somewhere right in here. Man, that one pumped up really well. So, guys, pay attention. Right? So me, guys, I'm trading these things intraday and then I'm out. But here's a perfect example. I didn't even look at that. I didn't even know it went up this high. I know it broke out, but as you can see, go and pay attention to these guys, because sometimes, when did I put that one on? It said 428, so it's 427 going into 28. So that's probably right over here, right in here. And so here's a perfect example. The next day, I think it probably went up to right here, right? You may have traded it, and then you may have ignored it, right? But if you went back and checked, look right over in here. That was actually the best setup right here, going into 5-1. So, and then look at that. So you could have, maybe you scalped a tiny bit, maybe you ignored it, gone about your day, and then look, boom, perfect hammer. I like that better than the original setup. Or actually, it may have been this one over here, real close to it, and then boom, look at the thing took off, right? So that's why I go back and look at our watch list, guys, because that's a perfect example. I didn't even know this one. I'm just pulling it up right now. Look at it, fired right off, way up there. Let's take a look. Let's see what else might be on the watch from there. APTS. So that 427 into 28. What was that? I think it was right over, yeah, right over in here, right here. Where'd it go? 712. And then it pumped up to 821. And now it's kind of trading sideways. I don't really like it right now, but just watch. See, maybe, you know, right now I don't like it, but actually right here would have been another, right here, kind of bounced off of 5-4, and then it pumped up a little bit. The pattern was still, the inverse head and shoulders is still in play. But I don't like it right now on that daily candle. APY. Right here. What did it do? It went up from 881. And, you know, it's a nice couple dollar move. Comes back down. And you see, I don't love it right here, but it's still got another little pop. You know, so as it moved and comes back down and retests support, it had another quick little pop. You guys see what I'm saying? We're putting them on, they break out. Many times they come back down, retest support, or they'll move up a little bit again. So that's, again, that's just to show you guys. Just go over to bullishbears.com. You'll see our penny stocks watch list that we put right here under day trade watch list, and just go through these guys. You know, so if tomorrow something doesn't go off from our watches today, look at the previous day's watch list, right? And I try to make them diverse. Angel and I make them. We try to put more of the diverse kind of stocks on there. I personally like ones that are like that, you know, $6 to $10 range. I'm not a sub $1 stock, guys. I put those on for you guys, or like a dollar stock for those that like the inexpensive ones. But again, a bull flag's a bull flag. A cup and handle's a cup and handle, right? So you take a look at, you know, the setups the way you like them best from the watch list. But make sure you check our previous day's watch list over there. So, ETRN. That was on the watch list today. And you can see there was a big cup and handle. So here's a perfect example. We were looking at a break of this candle right here. This, right here. 875. To see if it would break above that ascending triangle. Right? And what did it do? It only went up a little bit and then came back down. Now you have kind of a dark cloud cover pattern. It's still in play, but it's looking weak at the moment, right? So you can see, you know, as we go intraday, what did it do? It just creeped up and then it just dumped down. And I was looking at it this afternoon because I was looking to see right up over in here. I think I was putting a tweet at it about it because I was like, oh, here's kind of a left shoulder ahead, an extended right shoulder, and this thing just was weak and didn't do anything, right? So, but, you know, you could look at it and you could say that's a head and shoulders. This may fail, but you could also say this is a head, a left shoulder, and a right shoulder. This still may be an inverse head and shoulder. So, all that being said, ETRN was a dud today, but if you look at it, it's still in play, even though I don't like it right now. Right, so it's a dark cloud cover, you know, but see if maybe you'll get a couple candles. Maybe you'll get a small little candle. It might take, this is where one of those, check it in a couple days or so, see if it holds support, then it may go launch out, you know. But if you just looked at it today, it was kind of dead, you don't pay attention to it, it may dump, just completely dump, or it may continue up. We got to watch and see. BGCP, that was at or above 307. And as you can see, it broke 307 and it had resistance right at that 50 SMA, right? So we had, make sure you pay attention to these notes, guys. Very, very important. Click the roller on your mouse and it'll bring up the drawing tool so you don't have to go to the top. Hold on, let me see what you're saying there. Maybe teach me something, Jeremiah. You're saying the drawing tools, what do you mean? Oh, just click on the roller? Oh, huh. Oh, interesting. But I don't like how it moves the, Oh, actually, it's still there. Ah, okay. That's pretty cool. Is that what you mean, Jeremiah? That's pretty cool, dude. Ah, I like that. Nice. Huh. Now I got to get used to that. All right. So at or above, where did I have it? At or above 307, inverse head and shoulders. Watch for breakout with resistance at 50 SMA on the daily. Thanks, dude. And what did it do? It broke out. And what did it do? It hit resistance on the daily. So it went up. And you can see real quick, guys. So you'll see on this one, I would consider that also another... Oh, what's up, Kyle? Another dud. I wouldn't have traded that, right? So it's nasty. So this is why, guys, perfect example where we try to tell people, do not trade our alerts just because an alert goes off, right? So you'll see the alert probably went right off right at the market open, but this is a crappy pattern. Really didn't do anything. ETRN didn't do anything. Still maybe in play. You see, this one kind of just, it got really choppy and just didn't look kind of like a dud throughout the day. What one actually was decent? FCX was on. That was at or above 870 with resistance between 9 and 950. FCX. So this one had a quick move up. And what I say, so this is a nice move. If you caught it, you had to have caught it real quick on a 1 minute right over in here before it took off. So at or above 870, you'll see this thing gapped up, had a diagonal flag, and then it dumped right above $9 right back down. Another quick re-entry, and then it kind of just was a dud throughout the day. But it was a nice move up on a 1 minute. And then kind of readdressed throughout the day. It was just kind of very choppy and then dumped at the end of the day. But nice move if you caught it at the open. I personally, you had to catch it probably right at that candle right here. $8.95 at the break above $9. What else we got here? There was one that was decent, I thought. Oh, OMI. That was one from yesterday's watch list. OMI. Was it OMI? Yeah, it had a creep. So it actually just creeped above previous close. It dumped back down. And then I was watching it as it was breaking, hit support. So this is where, guys, you'll see many times. Here's a perfect example. Like, you might not catch, like, the alert will fire off. It's a dud, right? You got to let it play out for a little bit. And then let it find support. And then when it starts to find support, you might have to, again, check it out. So nobody's probably watching OMI, right? They're probably paying attention to trade ideas, but not really paying attention. It's super choppy. It looks like a bunch of garbage. And then it starts, you get a moving average crossover right over here. And then the thing starts to run up, from 757, gets above VWAP, comes back down. So if you got it in anticipation before VWAP, just say you waited after VWAP, right? After it broke VWAP, came back down and retested it. Somewhere in here, 760, even said 768, up to 7 again, 10 cents, not a big deal, but this is the stuff you're looking for. My whole point being is on the watch list, you want to avoid this garbage on any stocks, avoid the choppiness, right? And look for the clean, right? This is a clean move down. Look for the clean kind of moves up. These clean candles, avoid the choppy candles, right? So you avoid, or you want to find the clean candles. What else is left? Oh, there's some bigger ones that went off today. I think I removed all the stuff from the sides and I can't see what happened today. Netflix or Target went up at or above 111. TGT. So Target we had at or above 111.71. So you'll see, right, guys, this choppy roller coaster, right? So you can be like, oh, this is a dud. Well, look, you can create your high a day right up over in here was 112. You probably wouldn't have traded it. You're like, oh, this is just crazy roller coaster. And then this is where it starts to smooth out a little bit right after, right around in here, right? You can see all the chop, 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 chop comes back down. Now you start to look at it like, okay, you start to see it a little bit more in here. Now this is happening almost going into lunchtime, right? So this is why, again, keep our watch list up, because this happens all the time, guys, where you'll see, not necessarily all the time with the larger caps, typically more with the day trades, right? Look for the chop to go away, and then this thing, you know, as a 112, that had a beautiful move all the way up to like right up here to like, what was that, 112.04 to 83. That's an 80-cent move if you didn't get out, you know, below 113. That had a nice dollar move up. You're looking for this stuff, right? You guys see this, the clean kind of candles. You're looking to avoid this stuff. And then look, it went up to 113. So again, you avoid the kind of the chop over in here. Has nice kind of run up. You know, this is the stuff you're looking for if you're bullish, right? So you want to see like kind of those nice moves up, nice moves up, nice moves up, and then just be careful like trading in the choppiness. So Target went up. They all went up. Let's see. Netflix, that was at or above 428. What did Netflix do today? So Netflix, you'll see, guys, right? So this is where, again, it gapped up pre-market. And what did it do? It just dumped that open, right? So the alert went off, but it really didn't do so hot. I mean, you had a little bit of a red to green move you would have had to been quick on. Let's see right here. Yeah. It's still not my favorite right here. I like to avoid all this kind of choppiness. So this, again, alert went off. Wasn't so great. NVIDIA. So that one was at or above 291.85. Obviously, that gapped up really good pre-market, right? So it really gapped up pre-market, came back down. So realistically, you would have had your pre-market highs right in here. It gapped up got a little bit above pre-market highs. Let's see, what is it about? 296 to 297. Still very choppy. So you would have probably waited for that one to play out a little bit through. And again, you know, depending what you're trading, right? You know, if you're trading options, you got to be careful with trading options, the volatility. You know, I like to see it clean. You know, cleaner kind of move. It's still very choppy. Got up to $300 today, and then it just dumped, right? But remember, guys, there's all different types of strategies. Are you doing spreads? Are you day trading options? Are you doing shares, right? So there's no one. I like to see it riding a specific trend up, or, you know, we're either riding the trend up or down. I like to avoid the roller coaster. So, guys, but now kind of just readdress, right? So let's look at some of these daily charts. You know, so now NVIDIA, it's got that indecision candle that may be a head and shoulders. Now, what are they going to do? Is it going to drop? Are they going to QE it? That's where, like, again, this whole market, you can say, oh, this is crazy. It looks crappy. You know, this may fall, or they may pump it up, you know. So NVIDIA still in play, but I don't like that candle, and I'm worried about that head and shoulders. Netflix, kind of another one, right? You know, still in play, but kind of a bearish Harami pattern. But it's still above the moving average line. So this is, again, readdress them, right? Watch and see. If it fails, obviously it's bearish, but, you know, maybe it'll bounce around for a couple of candles, and then maybe it forms a bull flag, right? So it may form a bull flag and then break out. It might turn into a cup, right? What was the other one? Target again. You can see they all kind of have very similar patterns. It's just the market. It's just so crazy right now. So you could look at this and you'd be like, oh, that's a head and shoulders or a double top. But then you could look at it and say, oh, that's a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. This is an ascending triangle. You can say it's a cup and handle. You can say that's a bull flag, right? Lots of, it's just these candles are nuts. All right, so let me do the alerts for tomorrow. So does this make sense to you guys? Basically, just take our watch list. You'll see many times they'll fire off. Many times they'll come back down and retest. Or other times they don't fire off right away. They'll have some consolidation days. Then they'll launch. And then other ones are just duds, right? Not everything is great. Sometimes a pattern looks like it's going to break out and then it doesn't, right? But our watch lists do the same thing as basically trade ideas or any type of stocks you're looking at. They're a watch list, right? And you want to see stocks break out above resistance, and then when they retest resistance becomes support, and then you want to see support hold, right? So let's look at KMDN. This one's a little bit choppier. I try to find smaller candles for you guys on this one. So this one, I was torn on this one because you can see it's right. I still don't know how I feel about that one. I want to see it clear this 443. There's some resistance around 477. I still don't know how I feel about this one. But it may be holding. Let's look at the hourly. So this is where I was a little bit torn because it may be doing a cup pattern. I'm not really a fan, again, because I didn't really love tomorrow's watch list. So that's where, like, I was happy about going into today's watch list. Tomorrow's, I'm like, eh. So that's where I try to put ones on there. You can see they become a little bit of a grind. Why are they a grind? Today, look at the end of the day today. Choppy, end of day, pullback, and then it affects trying to make the watch list. So all that being said, I don't really like tomorrow's watch list. So this one right here, even though I don't love it, I'm going to put it on for 4. Possible cup pattern on 1 hour. Watch if price can move up with resistance around 470s. I would normally... Hey, Lucian, are you never live streaming your watch list build on Bullish Bear's webpage? I usually always do, but let's do a test, guys. Why have I not been doing it lately? Because Signet is a great man, and he's such a hard worker. And every time lately I seem to go in end of day into the trade room, Signet's in the trade room. So let's just do a test right now. Let's go into the trade room and see... Connecting audio. Nobody speaking. Sig not talking today, so he made a fool of me. I am making the watch list, though. It is after 5 o'clock, so I don't know if he stopped. So the past couple times I go to do the watch list, and there he's talking, and I don't want to be rude and interrupt him, so I just let him do his thing. So normally I would like to, but we have great mods and people in there teaching, so I'm trying not to be a jerk and interrupt them. That's why I just record them. So here's another one, ADAP. Kind of like, I don't really like this resistance right up here in this 380s, and it's kind of blah. 360s to 380s. It's above the 9 EMA. Kind of has a double top. Maybe a cup and handle. It's kind of Ugh, I don't like that hourly chart. Yeah, so that's why I didn't even bother in there today. Now I did start a little bit later because I made the watch list ahead of time, but oh guys, I don't even want to put this one on there. I'm not even putting this one on. Nah, I'm not gonna put ADAP on. Ugh. Avaya. See, I like it a little bit more like this. I mean, it's still kind of choppy. I don't love it, but you see the candles are just a little bit cleaner. The patterns are cleaner. You can see kind of a cup, possible inverse head and shoulders. I just like them a little bit better. Again, I don't love it, but This is one, again, it's a higher name company to, this, 972, 990. I like a little bit more room, but let's look at the daily chart on it. Again, choppy, like most things are right nowadays. I like a cleaner candle, but I'm not getting anything clean today to put on the watches for tomorrow. So it's above the 50 SMA. It's a bigger name company. It's an inverse head and shoulders. Would I like to have gotten this candle or something down here? Yes, but I can't. I can only get what we can get. And so we're going to put Avaya on for tomorrow. Inverse head and shoulders on 1 hour and daily. Watch for potential continuation with resistance around $10. So as you can see, guys, I don't love this one either, but you know what I mean? But at least I can see a pattern. It is a big name company. It's above the 50, the 9, and the 20. There's room to run if it can continue up. Would I like to see more candles like this? Ideally, right? So here's a smaller stock right here, GCI. Possible flag above the 20. I like seeing a small little candle that might be holding support ready to potentially break out. So if price can break above 123, you can see some resistance at that 50 SMA around 200. So that's got room to run. Let's look at the hourly. And I like this. So this is what I really like looking at, right? You see these smaller candles near support, cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders. I like this. This is something I really like looking at. I don't like this garbage back here, but this one may be setting up. This is more of what I'm looking for. But I went through a lot today. There's not many. No. 123. Possible bull flag on daily. Watch for potential breakout above 123 with resistance at 50 SMA. Right? Possible bull flag. Watch if price can break above that 123. If so, it could have a chance to move up to that 50. Now, this is one of those things, again, guys, that's where I put day trade watch list. But again, if you do your DD on this and you do your research and stuff like this could be one of those ones that, like, maybe it goes to the side, it pokes up a little bit, comes around, and then, like, this thing may trade around for a little bit. You know what I mean? So this is where these ones that we put on, they may become a swing trade. Some of you people, like, I don't like holding, small cap stocks for any length of time, but there's a lot of people that do. There's a lot of people that like swing trading small caps. I don't. I like to day trade, get in, get out. But if you do your due diligence, you might learn something financially about the company. They might have news. I'm showing you guys the technicals. If you're good with the fundamentals, you may do your research and be like, oh, GCI's got whatever, some conference or something coming up in 1 or 2 weeks where maybe it's kind of setting up, it trades to the side, and I might ignore it after a day or two, and then you might catch it a week or so later, and you would have been in it, right? So maybe you would have gotten a position. Not saying to do this, but like you're researching, and then the thing flies, right? So, this is where, again, try to make the watch list diverse for you guys. Yes, I will do Twitter. Yeah, so I'll finish these two and then I'll stop the YouTube stream just so I can give them a somewhat shorter video. Again, here's another one, kind of crappy, guys. I don't like the watch list at all for tomorrow. It's above the 50. It's got resistance right at this 200. You know, so I'm looking at it like I don't like the watch list at all tomorrow, to be honest. But so I'm looking at this one to see if it can clear that 200 SMA. But what I do somewhat like about it, it's nearer on the hourly, but then it's got to contend with this crap. I hate these candles like this that it's got to contend with, but I don't know. 260s, you know, 260-ish. If it can clear 260, it's got some room up to $3. I still just don't like it, but what do I got? I don't know how much I can go with. So, possible cup on 1 hour watch if price can clear 260s, and if so, there's room up to $3. ETW. Another one, It's above the 9 and the 20 and the 50, which I like. You can see some resistance around that 821. It's got to clear that 813 area. Again, I don't like how the candle's up a little bit higher. Let's look at the hourly. Kind of a cup pattern, is a little bit overextended. I want to be done with this watch list. I hate it. I don't even know why I bothered doing a watch list for tomorrow, but guys, we try to show you the good, we try to show you the bad, right? 812 to 823. I do not like this one. Watch if price can move up on daily with resistance between 812 to 823-ish. All right, so bottom line for YouTube peeps, these are all at or above. Bottom line, simple thing is our watch list is going to suck tomorrow. Or I might be tricked out. I don't like it. I don't like any of it. I don't like any of them. Actually, the one that's probably the nicest one is GCI. This might be the nicest setup. But other than that, I don't like our watches for tomorrow. It is what it is. So, YouTube peeps, hopefully this helped you. And then you guys on the live stream, I'll answer some of your questions for you. Later, guys.